Hello everyone. Just give me a second. Hello, hello Adhika. Good evening, Sushant. Let everyone join in. We will start. Today is the first day of the boot camp, right? Good evening, Bhavna. Good evening, Vinod. Hello, Ketan. Hello. Good evening, Aditya. Good evening. I'm really sorry for the small delay. Uh, Actually, there was some uh, issue with the mic, so I was just fixing that issue. Uh, Good evening, Yuvraj. Good evening, Satish. Hello. So I think it's time. I think it's time that we begin the session. Mr. Showman, what will be suitable language? We will be talking about algorithms mostly. Uh, Language you can choose on your own. I will give you the codes in C++, but I will talk about algorithms, so you can convert it any day. Aradhya, I think for that you have to attend all the sessions. Yes, I will share it. Okay, so I think we should begin now. So welcome everyone to this boot camp where we'll be talking about array puzzles. I hope till the end of day 5 you guys will be really confident in approaching these problems. Uh, Problems in generally asked in interviews or even in your daily algorithmic contest. Like more than 60% of the problems are made of these simple array puzzles. You don't actually need a lot of algorithms to perform good well in contests, like for example in code courses. In order to become expert or specialist, you don't really need to know a lot of algorithms, right? You just need to be confident about dealing with arrays, manipulating values, and just you should be confident about implementing your idea. And in order to implement the idea, the first step is to coming up with an idea, right? So we'll be seeing some patterns, we'll be seeing some different problems uh, about arrays. We'll be talking about some popular algorithms, but this is not will we will this bootcamp will not be algorithmic oriented. We will just be having fun. We will be solving problems. We will be solving different patterns, and we will see how we can, convert our ideas into code. So let's share my screen. So obviously the first question which come which should come to our mind is what is array, right? Like what's this array? Why do we need it? So it is basically a what is array exactly, Vinod? I think first we need to answer this question. So array is nothing but a linear data structure which helps us to store data. It's like a linear data structure, right? You might have known about linear data structure. One linear data structure is linked list. Linked list is one such linear data structure. How is array different from a linked list? This is one difference. Like memory access in array becomes fast because we know that, let's say there is a block of element, we know the next information block will be right next to that element. Let's say this is the address 1 is equal to a. We know that address 2 will be equal to a plus 1, right? Exactly, Naman, exactly. Continuous space initialization or continuous memory allocation, that means the same. I think I will take your words. It just sounds nice. Memory allocation. Right. So in this way, arrays are different from a linked list. That's why when we are sure about if we'll be using uh, a linear data structure, if the type is consistent, like for example, we need to store only int values. Okay. So we prefer arrays more. For example, if there is a case that we need to store, there should be a we need to create our own custom entity. Uh, for example, there is a container. For example, there is a container. Now we want it to contain an integer a. We want it to contain a string b. We want it to contain a character d. This is a type of container we want. Like you might have studied about classes, right? We need classes to implement this, right? Exactly, struct data type. Reshma, you are right. So in those data structures as well, we can create an array. Okay. So array really helps us to manipulate these things. So let's just talk about certain important characteristics of an array. I will take, for example, let's say I have an array A. Now this array A looks like this is an array of integers, and this looks like this. And here are indices. Arrays always has zero based indexing, so these are the indices. Now there are certain things which we should be allowed. First, what should be the first thing? First thing is access. How do you access any element? So access is done via this. This. There will be something at this index. Now beware. You should be aware that index should always be less than a dot size, and it should be greater than equal to 0, right? Like this is a very important thing. Otherwise you will be getting these errors of segmentation fault, or we also call them overflows. You know, these are really like, I'm just telling you before starting problem solving, because this will save a lot of time. These are certain common mistakes which people do. Yes, Manasi, I will share the notes. So Satya, we were talking about arrays. Now we are discussing some common errors which we'll make during solving these problems. So I'm just trying to introduce you to some some common errors, right? So this you will see a lot. Don't be afraid. I will also show you what's the error that lead code gives. For example, someone is asking for example for, let's say, in this array, example is you try to access A10. This, what will be A10? Now see, there is nothing at the 10th index, right? You have not initialized the 10th index. So when computer searches sort of like this. It goes to, it doesn't actually happens like this. There are faster ways to search. For simplicity, I'm saying, let's say it searches like this. Okay, this is 0th index. I go one index. I know I need to go to 10. This is my target. This is my target. Okay, I'm at 1, and I'm at 2, and I'm at 3, I'm at 4, I'm at 5. Then he tries to go at 6. He's trying to access something which is not there. This error will occur. Like, the definition of segmentation fault is kind of like this. This occurs when trying to access a memory which is not allocated. Okay, okay, Mohan. So, what I was saying was, uh, segmentation fault occurs when you're trying to access a memory which is not allocated. Like in this case, the 10th index was never initialized, right? So trying to access it, it will throw an error. Like हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम यहाँ पे हमने कभी 10th इंडेक्स इनिशियलाइज करा ही नहीं. जब इनिशियलाइज करा ही नहीं, वो बेचारा जाएगा, वो ढूंढेगा 0 पे हूँ, 1 पे हूँ, 2 पे हूँ, 3 पे हूँ, 4 पे हूँ, 5 पे हूँ. वो 6 पे जाएगा, वो देखेगा अरे यार 6 पे कुछ है ही नहीं. मतलब वो सोच रहा है, वो मतलब वो ट्राई कर रहा है 6 पे जाने का, बट 6 इज नेवर इनिशियलाइज, इट्स नेवर एलोकेटेड. सो these type of errors are known as segmentation fault. You're trying to find something which is not there. So try to be aware of these things. Uh, Second thing which we'll be doing mostly will be, uh, initializing. Okay, so we did access before initializing. That doesn't make any sense, but it's fine. Um, so there are two ways to initialize. There is a static array. You can initialize array like this. What this statement does is initializes array A of size size. Actually, I've just written size here. Another way of initializing an array, and you should be knowing this, vector of int of A size. Okay, it's fine. If anyone is not able to understand what I am trying to convey, you might raise an issue. Like you may ask doubt anytime, right? It's fine. Yes, exactly. I feel like uh, I will uh, I'll continue in English. But if someone is not able to understand English, uh, just tell me in the chat. I will explain to you. Right? Yes, it's okay. So what's a vector? Vector is also an array. Okay. Just what special here is it gives you a pushback. This thing is special. So basically, you can increase the size. For example, you had an array 1, 2, 3. Now, once you declared this array, previously there was no way to change the size of it, right? Now you can. Now you can basically push back another and then another like this. And how it will work? You can simply write a dot pushback x, and then this x will be pushed back. No, the overflow and segmentation fault are not the same thing. Uh, uh, okay, so segmentation fault, definition for segmentation fault is this: overflows are not these. So this is the overflow of index. There can be overflows generally mean like this. There is a container, right? Let's just talk in generic terms. You have a bucket. You can put some water in this bucket, right? Let's say water is still here. My drawing is pretty bad, so bear with me. And you try to put the capacity of this bucket is 1 liter, and you are trying to put 2 liters into this. So water will flow from this bucket, right? So it's like the same feeling. It's like the same feeling like in overflows. For example, um, in integers, you are kind of allowed to store 2 raised to power 31. This is the limit of an integer. If you try to store something like 2 raised to power 52, this will return in overflow. Now, what I meant here by overflow was you are just uh, you're choosing an index which does not fit in this range. So a better way to write this would be out of bound. This will be correct. Right. Okay, so initialization, we have covered initialization. I think we have done mostly everything. You guys must be thinking, oh, that's all in array. Pretty much that's it, in arrays. I mean, the boot camp is not over, obviously. Uh, I meant the theory part. We will be solving a lot of problems in these 5 days. So, just one thing you needed to know, one note you should be knowing, that let A be a vector. A dot. So, sort A dot begin, comma A dot end. This you guys should be knowing. Okay, so what this does is sort array. Right. This you should be knowing. We'll be using this quite a few times. Like, you don't really need to memorize all that insertion sort or merge sort or quick sort. Simply use this function in order to sort. Someone was saying, can you please explain the difference between segmentation fault and overflow? Okay, segmentation fault was when you're trying to access a memory which is not there, right? Who was asking? Seema was asking it. Okay, you're trying to access a memory which is not there, right? This is the definition of segmentation fault. So try to be comfortable with this definition. This is the segment. This is the definition. Okay. Now, what is overflow? Overflow is when you are trying to initialize a variable more than its capacity. Like I was giving an example here. Like there is an int. This is a capacity of int variable, right? This is the capacity of int variable. Let's say int x. And now you're doing int x is equal to 2 to the power 52. This will give overflow. You can't initialize it with 2 to the power 52, right? You should be using long int for this, because we know long int holds a capacity of 2 to the power 64, right? So this is the difference between overflow and segmentation fault. I think I mistakenly wrote overflow. I meant segmentation fault or out of bound. Out of bound, this is like self-explanatory, right? What is out of bound? Sort in the sense ascending or descending. Megha, this sorts an array. Oh, sorry. This sorts an array in ascending order. Now for descending, you simply replace this with a dot r begin, comma a dot r end. This is one way for descending. Another way of descending is simple, quite simple. Sort it in ascending order and reverse. Out of bounds versus overflow. So basically, out of bound is simple. Out of bound is just you're trying to access something which is not there. Let's say you initialized an array of size 10, and now you're trying to ask me. Now you're asking what's at the hundredth position. Hundredth position never existed because you only initialized an array of size 10, right? Um, so that's the meaning of out of bounds. Overflow means that you are uh, overflow means you're trying to initialize a variable more than its capacity. Like int has a capacity of 2 to the power 32. You're trying to initialize it to 2 to the power 50. So that's where uh, the array vectors. Explain vector concept. Vector is same as an array, right? The only functionality that we should be knowing in order to solve problems. There are much more functionalities that vector offers. Vector is basically self space adjusting. So what vector does is, for example, uh, you have used you have initialized a vector of size 5. So how vector works is, it basically initializes a vector of size 7, such that whenever you do a pushback, like you do this, whenever you do something like this, it can perform such operations. Because see, whenever I want to insert something here, right? I want to insert something here. There should be a memory allocation here, right? If there is no memory allocation, I cannot insert. So what vector does is, it automatically allocates a memory ahead in this block. This is what vector gives us. It basically, um, in some uh, by some extent, uh, it prevents those out of bounds errors. Exactly, Prashant. Exactly, out of bounds means that only. Yes, I'll be posting attendance. Yes, exactly. Okay. So I hope vector is clear. I hope array is clear. I hope now this is clear that we'll be using vector, because I introduced this. I spent some time on this. I hope now you guys should have gotten some hint that we'll be using vector. Let's try to solve some problems. So the first problem we'll be solving will be quite simple. Is everything clear? So just whenever you find something difficult, type it in the chat, and if I don't notice it, type it again. Okay. Don't let any doubt go unanswered, because it's very important, and we'll be like, if you try to uh, communicate your doubt, I'll be able to help you. Syntax of declaring vector. This is the syntax of declaring vector. This is how you declare a vector. This is a vector of size with a name a. Okay. Okay, Pooja. Vector is simply an array which gives us this functionality of pushback, which helps us in, you can, let's say this was the array, you can just push back another block of element. Okay. So let's begin begin our course of oops. Try to read this problem. This is the first problem of this bootcamp, and also the first problem of lead code. To some problem. So you're given a target. Yes, Tanya will provide the notes. Okay, so I was Ganesh. I was when I was uh, talking about vectors. I was talking about C++. Um, because when I will be writing code, I'll be using C++. Okay, I understand there will be some problem to some of you while uh, when I'm like discussing my solutions in C++. I will try that. I will zoom this. I hope now it's visible. I will try that. I am focusing more on the algorithm part. See, I cannot discuss solutions in every language, right? That will be really time consuming. The core idea of this bootcamp is to discuss more and more problems. Look, तुम लोगों को फायदा नहीं होगा अगर मैं ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स मतलब कम प्रॉब्लम कराऊंगा और मैं बस सेम ही प्रॉब्लम को के 10 सॉल्यूशन दे दूंगा उन लोगों डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस में दैट डजंट वर्क कोई हेल्प होगी क्या उससे सो इट मेक्स मोर सेंस कि वी डिस्कस मोर प्रॉब्लम्स वी डिस्कस द एल्गोरिदमिक अप्रोच ऑफ एवरी प्रॉब्लम कोड यू कैन डू यू नो आज की डेट में कोड तो जीपीटी भी लिख लेगा इफ यू ट्राई टू यू गिव देम द एल्गोरिदम give it the algorithm they can write the code you give them algorithm in one language give the code in one language it can convert it into another language I will be giving you notes uh, I'll give you notes and in the notes there will be code the code will be in C++ if you want it in another language let's say you want it in Java just uh, just ask GPT to convert it in Java right because like, we cannot discuss it in like see code for lead code allows these many languages we can't discuss our problem in every language right I have chosen C++ because I feel like most of us will be comfortable in it exactly Athar. Logic will be same for all so I'll be discussing logic I'll be stressing more on the logic I'll be not using code I'll just be using code in the end and even if you are not comfortable with that language you can convert that code easily okay so I hope um, everyone has read this problem thoroughly. Now let's see. Okay, so let's begin. To some problem, you will be given an nums array and a target. You have to give the indices of two elements that add up to array. Okay, so first thought which comes to my mind is I have a target, right, and I have nums, which is something like this. Okay, so let's say I'm standing at any element ith element is nums I. We know it, right? I'll be sharing attendance after this problem. So, so stay here. Ith element is nums I. Okay. So what is the question that I should be asking? I should be asking. I need two. I need two elements x plus y equal to target, right? Can this be one of these x and y's? Can this be one of those x and y's? And how I will get an answer to it? Is there a y Is there a y such that we add it to it and achieve our target? Is there a y? Okay. So a simple solution works this way. We can simply run a for loop int I from 1 to n for int j from I plus 1 to n and then check if nums I plus nums j equal to target. We can check all possible pairs, right? This is one this is one way of dealing with it. I mean, there is no point of putting present in the chat. I'll be sharing a form. You have to. mark yourself present on that form. So please don't please don't type present in the chat. There is no worth of that present. No, I'm not taking attendance in the chat. So try to focus on what you are here, right? Don't try to indulge yourself in random stuff. Just give me a second. Yeah, exactly. It should be I is equal to 0. I mean, sorry, I just shifted my mind into one based indexing. Yes, you are right. For int I equal to 0 to n minus 1, for int j equal to I plus 1 to n minus 1, we just check every possible pair, right? But obviously, it's not sufficient to check every possible pair. So, what do we need? We need an efficient way to find, is there a y such that what should be the value of this y? The y should be target minus numzi. That should be the, this is the point. We need to find this element. So let's, right, we need to find this element, right? Yes, I hope it is displaying now. So we need to find this element. Exactly, Nancy. It was O of n square. We're trying to find something better. We need to find this element. Now, can we use a data structure? Ask yourself, can you use a data structure which helps me find an element in better complexity than O of n? The answer is simply hash maps या फिर hash sets. Right? This is the answer. Okay. So should we use hash set or hash map? We can use hash set, honestly. But will there be an issue? Yes. What will be the issue? The issue will be, we need to return the index. And if we use hash set, let's say you have 4 and target equal to 8. Hash set doesn't store two occurrences of 4. Hash set just stores of 4, right? So you basically lose this information. Will there be a second 4? So we'll be using, this gives us an idea of using hash maps. Okay. So let's try and code this solution. Let me just, so first of all, we need an unordered map of int comma vector of int B. Um, what will be needing minimum dot size I plus plus. Now int y, as we discussed, will be target minus numzi. Now if mp dot find not equal to mp dot end, if y if y not equal to numzi, then we can simply return I comma mp of y of 0. Else we need to check if mp of y comma 0 equal to I if mp dot size greater than if mp dot size greater than 1, then we return comma mp of y comma 1, else we simply return I comma 0. Okay, here we need another for loop, and here let's see if this works. Should work actually. Oops, there is an overflow error. Heap buffer overflow. Okay. Oh, sorry. If mp dot size bias. Sorry. Let's see if it works. Yep, it does work. So see what we are doing. First of all, we are storing. What this loop is doing is storing a mapping of number maps to indices, where all the locations where that number is present. This is the mapping we are creating. We know that this whole operation takes O of 1 by onward set. Due to hashing, the process of searching in hashing takes O of 1. This helps us. So I hope this problem is clear, right? If there is any doubt, you can ask in the chat. Okay, I will dry run this approach. Let's dry run this approach on. Let's dry run this approach. Let's take the first example. It's a decent example, honestly. Okay, so the example, we can create our own example. Let's say example A is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 100. Okay. Uh, let's say not this. Let's say we have another 4. Let's say another 5. Let's say another 100. So the first for loop creates a data structure something like this. There will be a map. This map will be storing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, comma 5, 5, 4, comma 6, and there will be 100, which will be at 7th position. How I have created this mapping? Try to think of something like, see, I have mapped every number to the index it is present on, right? For 3 it's 2. Array, haan, sorry. For 3, 2. Yes. So now what I'm doing? I'm trying when I go to 1, I see I need a 99. Do I find a 99 here? No, 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 no. Uh, oh, sorry, not 99. Let's say, sorry, what I'm saying. Let's say the target is 105. Okay, this is the target. So for one, I need a 104, right? Because 105 minus 1 equal to 104. Do I find a 104 here? I don't, right? Now I go to 2. I need 105 minus 2, which is 103. So I try to see if there is a 103 in this. There is no 103. Okay. Kundan, hash map is just a mapping. You give it 1, it says you, oh, I am mapped to this. 2, I am mapped to this. 3, I am mapped to this. 4, I am mapped to this. And so it's just a mapping. Simple as that. Uh, okay. Then you go to 5. You see, okay, 105 minus 5 equal to 100. You say, oh, well, I have 100 here. I have 100 here. So I can use this 100 to add up to 5 to make 105, right? So simply return this 7 and the index you were on, 4 and 7. Yes, Ganesh, it is a data structure. It is called hash map in Java, unordered map in C++, right? Okay. I hope you guys understood the code. Now there is one edge case. There is one edge case. If target was 8, if the target was 8, see if the target was 8, the target was 8, then you're standing here. Obviously now you can see these indexes will not give you answer. For 1 you'll be needing a 7, there is no 7. For 2 you'll be needing a 6, there is no 6. Okay, for 3 there is a 5. let's let's change our number. Let's change our number to 10. Okay. Okay. For 1, you'll need a 9. There is no 9. For 2, you need a 8. There is no 8. For 3, you will need a 7. There is no 7. For 4, you will need a 6. There is no 6. Right? So you will come up to 5. And now you see, if you only return the 0th index, why you need a mapping with a vector? You said, oh, why do you need a vector? You can simply store map to an integer, just one occurrence, but we might be needing two occurrences, right? Just see in this case. Okay, I found a 5. Do I have a 5? Yes, I have a 5. Okay, then I return this. You return 4 comma 4. This is not valid, right? You are using this. You're saying 5 plus 5 equal to 10. Well, this is not correct, is it? You're using this twice. Not correct. So you need to check if there is another occurrence of 5, so that you can use 5 and another 5. Understood? That's the reason of using an that's the reason of using an integer of a vector, mapping with a vector. Okay, I feel like a lot of you are asking for attendance, so I think it's time for attendance. Tomorrow we'll be doing some cadence array problem. Oops. The attendance link is up in the chat. You guys can mark it. Nancy, the time complexity will be O of n because we are using a hash map anyway. The class is not over. Like, just mark your attendance and uh, the session is not over. The session is not over. We'll try to see another problem. I don't know much about vector. Uh, See, this is uh, we can do it in array. There is no problem in doing it in array. But we are forced to do it in vector because the input is kind of given in vector form. I think I should share. Um, the input is given in vector form, right? So we are kind of we're kind of forced to understand vector. It's fine. Like if you find Okay, so yes, I will provide the notes. I will provide the notes. I will provide the notes, Santosh. So the class is over here only. Will we'll discuss some other problems next time. Try to read about Cadane's algorithm. We'll be solving some problems of Cadane's algorithm. No, it was not over. There was some issue, some minor issues in my internet. The class is over here only. Um, we will not able to solve problems today because we had to introduce arrays and vectors today as well. So try to read about Cadane's algorithm. Um, what can you see more? Just try to read about Cadane's algorithm. Try to see what if I don't know about vector and hash maps. Um, it's fine. It's fine. I'll try to introduce hash maps as well in the next class. Try to read them on your own. Vector, I think I have vector. I have introduced like what we needed in vectors. I have introduced all of it. What you will be using in array puzzles. I have introduced them. So there is no problem with that. Can you write the name of the algorithm? Uh, so the name of this algorithm is Cadane's algorithm. This is the name of the algorithm. Okay, so I hope you guys liked today's session. Today's session was introductory. Don't try to think that we'll just be doing these many problems. We'll be doing a lot of problems. Tomorrow we'll be doing more than 4 problems. I think 5 problems we'll be doing. Important problems will be picking important patterns. And someone was asking, just tell me important lead code problems with respect to arrays. I will discuss them in the next class. Uh, okay. If Mr. Showman, I will be sharing notes. You can see them in the notes. Yes, Dave, I'll share the notes. I'll share the notes now only. It's fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed the class. Uh, we'll meet next time. We'll meet tomorrow. Yes, Amar, class is over. Okay. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye bye.